Hi guys, welcome to today's podcast. I haven't done a podcast with video for quite a long time. So my commitment to you is every day for the month of July, I'm going to be showing up and really sharing insights and wisdom around really stepping into an embodied, empowered version of yourself. One that is not self-sacrificing your health for your success or for anyone else, but really about that deep embodiment presence. And this podcast is called The Regulated Woman. Now, The Regulated Woman is not about being perfect or about being calm and peaceful all the time. In fact, it's probably the opposite. It's a woman who is able to be with all elements, all aspects of herself, and understands the importance of the fire within her as well as the water elements. And so this has been a deep journey of my integration of many studies, many journeys, both psychedelic and non-psychedelic over the past 15 years. So I want to share this wisdom and insights with you. The Regulated Woman is also a 6-month and 12-month container that I run, which is based on these 4 pillars: the physical, the identity, the capacity, and the nourishment. And there are so many different layers into all of those pillars, which I will be diving into in this podcast to give you that deeper understanding, to know how to start to build really strong foundations for yourself, especially if you're a high achieving woman, a woman who's really ambitious, who wants to create something really incredible for herself and keeps finding herself in these burnout cycles, or cycles where you feel like you've lost yourself in something, or where you simply feel emotionally tapped out, like you're just numbed out because you're just trying to get through the day. And as women, we're wearing many, many, many hats, right? And for me personally, when I try to separate myself in each area of my life, nothing works. It doesn't work. So how do we bring all elements, all aspects of yourself back into one united central channel where you can fully express, where you can bring all elements of yourself to every single part of your life and show up with that level of grounded, centered magnetism? So that is the longest intro. I want to really dive in today around why. Like, why is it important to understand who you are, to understand how to actually expand your capacity to hold more, and to be able to have the tools that will support you in growing the business or scaling the business or creating the life that you want without having to shut off parts of yourself or dissociate or go through these burnout cycles. So this was a journey that I went through many times in my 20s. I definitely had this belief that I had to really hustle, really force in order to create what I wanted. And I experienced many burnout cycles in my 20s, getting ill every single month because I simply was not listening. And to be honest with you, at that point, I don't even know if I would have known what that even meant to listen or how to even listen. So this is the beauty of really taking that journey of coming out of your mind and coming into your body. Because let's be real, that level of resiliency served you really massively at some point in your life because it kept you safe. And I know for me that way of operating definitely supported me through childhood, right? To dissociate, to numb out, to keep just being super resilient and to keep moving forward. But there does get a point, if you haven't already reached it, or maybe this sounds really familiar, where you hit this brick wall. And that can be a brick wall in terms of things aren't shifting, where you feel stagnant. It can be a brick wall of just feeling really lost, like I do not know who I am anymore. It can be a brick wall of physical burnout, where you just are exhausted and you've got nothing left in the tank. And how do we come back from that? Because that's what I really want to speak to, because my belief is that we get to walk this path where we don't have to abandon ship in order to feel joyful and alive and expressive. It's not about running away from or stepping away from the pieces that are challenging. It's about how do we actually expand our capacity to hold that without burning out. And of course, if something is no longer in alignment with you, if there's a relationship that is actually incredibly triggering, or not even triggering, that's the wrong word, but if you know that it's actually toxic, that's a different situation altogether. But what I see so many times is that there's this all or nothing mentality. Okay, this is creating me to feel this way, so I'm going to walk away from that. Okay, this role, acting as the CEO or managing or whatever the title is causing me to burn out. Therefore, I'm going to either keep digging in deeper and doing another round, or eventually I'm going to decide to walk away. Now, although for some of you, that role may feel so out of alignment that may actually be your truth. But I don't subscribe to that belief that we need to walk away from things to make our life easy, to then pendulum swing to the other way, where we go into more of the water element, which is more of that like softness and surrendered and spaciousness, which is all beautiful and has its place, very much so. But if you live continually from that place, it's still not going to give you what you want. It's still not going to feel fulfilling. And so we must find this path in the middle between the fire and the water, between the doing and the surrendering, that feels in alignment, that feels like we can hold both. And so building and expanding the capacity to hold more without frying your system is a way forward that I have been really walking and practicing for the last 5 years at least, is finding that rhythm, finding where is that edge for me. And it's what I help a lot of women find within themselves, is like, okay, we don't have to abandon ship. We don't have to burn everything to the ground. There is another way. For me personally, this is why I created the 4 pillars of my methodology. It really comes down to, how am I expanding my capacity to hold more physically in my physical body? And this can be doing strength training, doing things that are really hard physically to show myself that I can overcome mindset blocks around where I believe my capacity is at, when actually there's more in the tank. Identity. What is the version of the woman that I'm becoming who can hold this level with such ease and groundedness and in a connection so that nothing can sway her? That identity piece unravels into so many other facets, but I'm just going to leave it there with identity. Capacity, right? How do I expand my capacity to actually feel more in my body without frying my nervous system? And this is an exploration and a journey into actually bringing back all emotions, all elements, all sides of oneself, so that we're not cutting off or shutting out any sides of ourselves. And when you really allow yourself to go there, it's like you're calling all these pieces back into your body, into yourself. And when you know yourself really deeply and you've allowed yourself to really go to those edges and to explore that, there's a level of magnetism, of safety that you feel within your body and that others feel within you. And then nourishment. Nourishment is such a huge factor. It plays into everything. Nourishment in terms of not only what am I consuming with my food, but what am I consuming on social media, online, other people in my space. What am I allowing to enter into my reality, into my field of awareness? And that is really where you get to find yourself moving, elevating, shifting in the new direction that you want to be going into in a really effortless way, because you feel incredibly grounded in these 4 pillars that you're slowly expanding within yourself to actually feel safer within yourself, so that nothing from the outside can rock you to your core, because you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you know what you want. And magnetic, because you have that sense of self-assuredness that's not coming from needing any validation from anything outside of you, or even needing the external to shift in order for you to feel a certain way. You're already embodying that, you already feel that way, and you're simply showing up in your highest expression, in your most authentic expression. And you're not playing small anymore. You're not hiding anymore. You're not allowing your environment to dictate how you show up. You're bringing all parts of yourself into every single environment. So I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll be back on tomorrow. If there's any questions that you have, please leave it in the comments. If you want me to dive into a certain pillar, please reach out and let me know. I'd be more than happy to hear what sparks your curiosity and really go from there. So sending you so much love, and I'll see you tomorrow.